Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ioannis and I am an application scientist in Product Care team. For the last few months, I have been working with a very talented team from histology, extraction, and process excellence. I would like to mention Michelle Schwab, who was the histology lead at Cambridge, and Megan Scanlon, lead at extraction for their partnership, and of course Julia Elven, our lab director, for her guidance in this project. The opportunity here was to reduce contamination rate, which is critical for our COGS and turnaround time, and most importantly, the overall patient satisfaction to whom we can provide reports. So far, historically, the contamination has been responsible for approximately 2.5% of our samples, requiring additional work. And in many cases, we were not able to produce any outcome as we generated fail reports. We estimated that in 2020, approximately 2,316 samples from blocks failed or qualified for significant contamination. So so far, we have been missing this opportunity to really reduce the contamination during our extraction process. So the target was to reduce the impact of our contamination and potentially reduce also our contamination rate. Our data analysis revealed that small size tissue samples are more likely to be affected by a potential splash event during the extraction process. And that's why a dry run was conducted between histology and extraction to keep small tissue size blocks on separate Kingfisher extraction plates. The outcome was that a decrease of approximately 50% of our contamination rate in samples from blocks. So currently our significant contamination in blocks is approximately at 2.5%. Again, we see this contamination mainly in small size blocks. So this TriStorm was to route small size tissue size blocks to separate Kingfisher plates. So the small size tissue blocks will be extracted on separate Kingfisher plates, and then all samples will pull together for downstream lab processing. The results showed an approximately 50% reduction in our contamination rate. We can move to the next slides. So the contamination often results in reworks, as samples that fail for contamination have to be repeated from extraction and many times from histology, and the same for a portion of our qualified reports for significant contamination. So during this TriStorm, we saw approximately 1.5% reduction in our rework rate. And this is a great opportunity to actually reduce our rework rate, increase our patient satisfaction, of course, great opportunity to reduce our operating cost, and of course, expedite our turnaround time. We see that this is an opportunity that can potentially affect over 1,000 samples per year, we can reduce our fail reports by at least 500 patients, and our qualified reports again for at least 600 patients. So that's over 1,500 samples. We can reduce the turnaround time for the affected patients by 7.5 days, as a sample that fails for a contamination needs to be repeated, and it will take an extra 7.5 days for that patient to be reported. And of course, this is an opportunity to reduce the cost by at least $300,000 per year.